way my back and my hip hurt more. But with that intention, it changed. It was really cool. So dancing has to be a part of it. And it's that freedom of letting yourself go. Again, Sufis dance. It's a good thing. They dance for God. Let yourself be free enough to flow physically as well as mentally and emotionally. Add your body in there. Devotion. This was one of the tougher ones for me. Because with this science of mind background, I had let go of this concept of worship. And I don't think I've gone back to worship, but devotion has a different feel. What are some things you've been devoted to in your life? Anybody? Family. Music. Education.
Dancing.
What's that? Dancing. What happens when you're devoted to these things? Somebody.
You focus on pursue them.
You pursue them. You chase them. They become the number one thing in your life, right? Devotion is about putting that first in your life. And I've talked about this a lot of times. You can choose anything to put first in your life, and it's going to shift from time to time. And I've said before, if my children in their 30s were still the most important thing in my life, it'd really be screwed up, wouldn't it? I'm sorry if you're like that, but I have very independent children who are out there doing their own thing, and I'm friends with them today. But I don't have to talk to them every day. I don't have to oversee what they're doing. I don't have to micromanage their lives. So things are going to be different, but having something you're devoted to, and to me, of course, this year it's become this deepening devotion to spirit, to my spiritual practices have become deeper and more important, downright mandatory every day. Unconditional love. Unconditional love. I still struggle. But I think that's part of the human condition. And then I've been reading constantly, and I read something the other day that, don't use that human condition thing because it's just your bull. It's just your excuse. And it's probably true. Unconditional love. No conditions, no requirements. Just letting it all go. Wouldn't our lives be so much better if we could just let it all go? If we didn't have conditions on these things? I'm working on it. And the last one is a term that I have found this year that has just meant so much to me. And it's not a new word. It's something that's been around for a long time. But this year it's grace. The grace and givingness of spirit. And understanding that everything in my experience is there by the grace of God. Not getting it up here. We get these things up here. We hear them, we repeat them, we say them over and over again. That's not what I'm talking about. This year was taking these things I've heard over and over again and putting them here. Getting them deep down inside. And not intention. I guess there was an intention to it, but it was through the practice. And I didn't do the practice with the intention of getting it. I did the practice for the sake of the practice. I started the blessing for the sake of giving love. Not so it would create something in me, but that's what I have reaped this year. By sowing, just sending love. We're so unconscious of the things going on in our lives sometimes. We're so unconscious of the thoughts, of the fears, of the underlying stuff. Or we get too busy God, I am busier than anybody I know. I really am. I am busy. I don't have much time during a day to do much. But the music's on in the background. And that first 10 minutes in the morning is for sending love, no matter what. And I've actually done it, guys. I've caught myself in, what was one I did the other day that was so good? Oh, impatience. Rick says I'm the most impatient person in the world. And he has no clue because something was going on and we were doing something and I had to wait. And I'm usually very impatient if I have to wait. And I went, God, I give this to you. It went away. Instantly, in a second, that little, you know that feeling. You know those feelings that I'm talking about. You know, the head's starting to go and the body gets a little tense. Just like this. That quick. That was reaping what I'd been sowing. And I didn't even try to do it on purpose. I didn't have that purpose or that intention when I started. It was the result. The whole intention was just do the practice. Just do the practice. And this is what it's created. It has expanded my life in a way I cannot begin to describe to you. There's so many things going on we don't know about. Or we don't understand. And some of them can be so simple. It's time to open our eyes. See, I didn't even use the quotes. I'm going to quit and I didn't even use the quotes. It's okay. We'll save them for another time, right? They're on the new blog page. You can read them later. Who remembers the Beverly Hillbillies? You remember the Beverly Hillbillies? Every once in a while in the Beverly Hillbillies, there would be this music that came out of the ceiling. Bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong. And they'd all stand around and they'd look at each other and they'd go, we better go to the door because I don't know what that is, but every time that music plays, there's someone knocking on the front door. Someone's knocking on your front door. Are you hearing the music? Are you recognizing the doorbell chime? Because if you're here, Spirit is knocking on your door. Spirit is knocking on your heart. Or you wouldn't be sitting in your seat listening to this right now. Open the door, open your heart, and allow your own life to expand. Thank you.